Hello, everybody. Good to see you all. Let's get started with Valkor. Get that push to talk going on, just like people don't actually hear me talk in the chat. So for those who are just tuning in, this is Valkor. I am late in the book, but I am getting started on Take Care of Things. We got a little bit of lag going on. I think I'll turn the settings down to ultra. No, not auto. Ultra, please. Why is it so bright? Let's get it down to about 1 point. Alright, good enough. Alright, so, a little story about Valkor. Valkor is a descendant from Celestial and Dark Fae. Music might be a little loud, so let me see if I can bring that down a little bit. Hence why he's got the wings, he's got the handsomeness, but he's also got more of the darker energy. He is a traveler between the worlds. He tends to just bleep different locations and show up where he is at and do what he can. This is his humble abode. Believe it or not, I did not realize that this server had kits, and so I had to go ahead and redeem those. I was building out a complete sandstone, but got a little bit of light going on right up front. Got a well, some beehives. This morning I just converted all sandstone to some arena pieces as well as reinforced stone. That's where the ceilings are. Hence because the arena didn't have those quarter pieces. So first off, let me give you a bit of a tour. There's nothing really going on right now. I got ourselves the main room. Debating about making this the workshop or maybe taking the workshop upstairs. But right now, got some room here. Got a little bit of room over here. Not too sure what I'm going to put in here. Maybe a chest or two. Maybe some private areas. Kind of a little nook here. Let's see what I can put in there. That is the treasury. Coming up here, we got ourselves a little second room. Might be a common area, might be a kitchen. Get some food cooking. Follow me outside. Got a wonderful view. Porch is a little small, but then again, I'm almost out of space. I may increase it though, depending on my mood. Still a full front color there. Let's see about shifting that over. Arena. Taylor. This might be just a little difficult. There we go. Fantastic. Best way to get up here is just follow the path around here. You can head this way. I do plan on putting a little lamp post so people can go ahead and know that's what it is up here, but it's pretty visible when you are traveling by the water. Let's head upstairs. Upstairs, mixture of reinforced stone as well as arena again. Got some vaulted ceilings. I was debating if I wanted to go and extend the size of this, but right now I'm not too sure. I think it works out pretty good the way it is. This was supposed to be the bedroom. I may close it off again, but for now this is what we are looking at. So I'll possibly put a bed right in this center part right here, maybe a dresser here, here. Probably put some armor stands, maybe right there. I need to speak with Leilani and see how she went ahead and got those little smaller workstations, because I need to get that done. Because I may make the upstairs the workshop. I won't be doing too much working though. On today's agenda, most likely just going to continue base building. We may visit some friends of ours and see how they're doing. We should probably go visit since I guess shit's about to go down here in a little bit. Let's go ahead and keep some of this organized. Get the heavy stuff together. Well, material-wise, like stones. Tons of iron. I need to go get some star metal. If this is your first time tuning in into Conan Exiles is a game based around the Conan arc. And in a previous role player, I took some time off due to what it was doing to my mental health. But now that I'm doing far better, I am back. Plus, I miss some of the community. Like any roleplay community, that can be a little bit of toxicity, but there are also good people in it. I think I'll just keep this stuff in here for now. May have to make another chest of building pieces. Wish we still had that pooling system. Unless I'm an idiot and I don't know how to do that. Like to go ahead and have like a... That looks good, I like that. Let's see your storage. Perfect. This way we can go and store some of these things. That is not a building item. Come on, back in my inventory. This is my miscellaneous chest, so we're gonna go ahead and put all of this stuff into. Put that guy there. We'll keep the tokens on us. Actually, no, we won't. For inventory's sake, let's go and put it all back. Alright, let's put the wood in here. Alrighty. Now let's put the item list one. Oh wait. Hey, free movement again. Alright. Let's go visit some of our friends that we made along the way. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Wasn't there like a gamma thing you can do? Gamma. You have to do it like that. It's early morning and it's just too bright for me. Alrighty, let's take a look. So if this is your first time tuning in, I guess there's some kind of deathclaw situation going on. They were here before. I remember them when I played Galagan. I thought we defeated them, but I guess somehow they managed to get back. So now the people of these lands are fighting them off again, and this time we're trying to find a way to go in permanently. Up ahead is our so angry. But up ahead is where Milani and all of her companions live. Milani's a good friend of mine. She has been helping me out quite a bit in-game as well as outside the game. And how her and I met in-game is I found one of the letters she sent out asking for help, and I was looking to return it to its own. A little bit of a headache. Alright, let's let everything load in for a minute. There we go, that wasn't too bad. We have a system over here about who's in, who's away, etc, etc. Blue, somebody's out. Red asleep, green awake. Mia's awake. Lilani is awake. June is asleep. Lucille is asleep, Keelan is asleep, August is asleep, Lucius away, Kogor away, Kendall and Warren away. Alright, let's head into RP. Good morning, Kilgore.
Oh, good morning.
Did you get the bug?
I did. I just took a nap here.
Fantastic.
Real quick. Yeah.
How's the estate doing? Any new attacks, from my understanding?
No, I don't think so, at least. I think it's been kind of calm the last 2 days.
Excellent.
Luckily.
And then any updates on like attack? I guess I shouldn't be speaking so freely regarding the whole deathclaw situation, unless we are within the compounds of safety.
Let's move to the war room, maybe. At least inside.
Yeah, I believe that might be a better option.
So, I think here will be fine. I think, so, from what I know, there's plans forming. That's all I know, to be honest.
Plans for you?
Plans like in general, about the whole deathclaw situation.
What about any news on dealing with some of the deathclaw camps around? I know Xander was talking about that. No? Well,
I don't think so. At least I don't remember. I just woke up, so I'm kind of...
likewise. I spent quite a bit of time last night constructing my home, so now I am looking to possibly explore the land a little bit more and see what's out there. Any points of interest?
I honestly, I would just visit all the little towns and such, like Stoneguard. It's
Alright.
Northwest of here, and Clearshore. You might find some stuff there.
Alright.
It's literally, Stoneguard is literally when you head to the closest carriage, whatever, I forgot the name, and turn right before you, like, up the hill. That's Stoneguard. There's some shops there, probably stuff you can find. And Clearshore is, here's the carriage, like there. I am
Excellent.
fairly new myself, so I don't really know any crazy spots, but that's usually where I go.
Well, I will then take off towards some of these homes or towns and see who I can run into and see if I can acquire any more information. Perhaps I'll run across one of those Deathclaw camps, and perhaps I can test my mettle.
Okay, well, I'll be heading to Stoneguard.
All right. Well, perhaps I'll just follow you then. We can both go.
Sure.
Strength in numbers, they say.
Of course. Let me just change.
All right. Very well. I like that stance. It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Alright, let's
Oh,
go.
look at you. You are all decked out. All right, let's head out.
Yeah, gotta be ready. You never know what's gonna hit you. Last time, I think like 2 days ago, I got attacked by 2 stalkers.
Oh, dear. Are those
Yeah,
stalkers
it was
pretty tough?
literally right here. It was literally right here when I was cleaning the kitchen. I managed to kind of fight them off with help of others, but I was alone for a while.
Interesting. The fact that they would attack so close to your guys' home. I actually established a home not too far from here. You see that that island straight ahead of us right now? I'm on the island right across from that one. So.
Oh, you're gonna show me that sometime.
Oh, absolutely. I plan on showing all of you so you guys can come and ring the bell, maybe. There's just a little bit of native there.
Yeah. He always either sits there or on the cliff.
I've always found them to be a bit obnoxious. Their whole yelling and screaming and such. It's a little irritating at times.
Oh, it really is. Sometimes it scares me. I don't see them and I just hear screaming all of a sudden.
Must be a hyena nest right here.
Yeah.
Surprised an antelope is that close.
Yeah, I think they're more interested in us.
Fair enough.
Yeah, there's a stone guard to the right. You can see there.
Ah, yep. I am noticing a bit of a headache.
Take your
So
time.
what's Stoneguard known for?
Honestly, I have no idea. I don't know.
Who resides? Do you know who resides here?
I don't know. I actually only found out about Stone Guard like not too long ago. I had no idea it exists.
Ah, fair enough. I mean, I've been to Clearshore before. I believe that's the place you first pop into when you arrive in these lands.
I think so.
Oh boy, let the headache subside for a minute. Alright, there we go. Library, alright. What's this place? Is this the mayor's office?
I think so.
Looks like a mayor's office.
I think this is kind of, I don't know, important place.
Nothing
Like,
recent in these notices. There's a couple
that's
of things
prison.
about a few days ago. Oh, this is a prison, huh? Alright, don't get in trouble in Stoneguard. Got it. This place. What do you sell, madam? Oh, the picture sword. Ah, interesting. Looks like she's selling repair kits as well as some other components. Very nice.
Yeah, I actually haven't been exploring here, like at all. Seems like
Alchemist,
tavern?
maybe? Oh no, this is a tavern.
oh,
They sell all
little
sorts of
open
drinks.
tavern.
Yeah. We've got some Highland wine, some desert rum, absinthe.
Oh,
I'm a little low on funds right now, so I think I'll go ahead and abstain from purchasing anything until I can get some more funds in my pocket. Clear Shore cleared me out pretty well.
Yeah, I know that. I spent a lot of money on jade toads.
So we got some more stuff going on over here. Amethyst halls? Oh, that is locked. Looks like they are not accepting visitors right now. This looks like an alchemist.
Something's gonna open later.
Oh yeah, looks like they got some potent elixirs as well as some healing stuff.
Oh, wait. I need that.
Take a look here what else I would need. Perhaps an elixir of freedom. Ah, looks like there's a workshop nearby too. Very nice. Ronald, what do you sell?
Okay.
Looks like you're selling some onyx, essence of bindings, things like that. Very nice. I mean, that's some tokens in there. Very nice place.
And it's really close.
Very close to us.
Library?
Jimmy, gem vendor. Oh, looks like she's knowledge.
Oh, you can get some knowledge here.
I think people are selling some. I have learned to become. She has taught me how to become an experienced cook. Very nice. Ah, good evening to you.
Hello,
Or
Jen.
afternoon.
Meg, you've been to the militia hall.
Oh, yeah. I was just walking around.
What's this place? Oh.
They've been called here for finding out preparation for continuing our objective of what we intended to do there before. Things have changed. I'm sure that most of you are aware with fortifications and things that have been put up there. We're here to go over these ideas and formulate a plan. Doing so, I want to make sure that we have structure. Let's keep this very on topic. Be very informational about your ideas and thoughts so that they can be taken into account. And I would like to do is set this up into 5 different phases. First phase being the assault on the exterior fortress itself and getting us in. Second phase, getting us into the tunnels for Dwarf to do what he needs to do and holding that area. Third phase will be a recovery and descent to the caverns. Fourth phase is going to be We proceed once we reach the final location, those caverns. We encounter portal, mage, commander, whatever, any and all of the above. Of course, phase 5 will be our exit. So that Warren and a few others have already had ideas about this, already spoken previously, some of us at length. Let's start with phase 1. Warren, if you would like to give your ideas.
We have been discussing, and over the day after we have discovered that they built out their fort, have thought it would be a good idea to use trebuchets. Breaking through their walls is going to be a grueling task with how they have things set up right now. Unless it's changed recently, we're going to have almost 3 tiers of defenses to break through. The opening, the part leading up to the ledge, and then the mouth of King's Niche are all covered in various archer walls and a full gate covering the opening. They also have their own siege weaponry set up as well. Did we get verification on those trebuchets on the upper part of King's Niche at the top of the mouth?
I believe it was confirmed 3. What I understand.
That means then the placements are the similar ones that I saw. One on the ledge before the opening to King's Niche, and then one on either side of the top
no
of
idea
that
who these
opening.
people are. Well, I know some of them.
Through some light knowledge of the area, we've thought about a few placements for them. We've made enough supplies for 6 trebuchets to be set up under the cover of night, as I believe that's going to be our best chance to get them set up.
What kind, Warren? Trebuchets.
Are you using basic or are you using shadow?
I've been told of the other ones. I don't know who can make them. So I've done
Tsuyuki.
a lot of the planning on the basic ones.
Tsuyuki. She's made 10 for me already, but she can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tsuyuki.
No, as I said, we tested them the other night. The basic ones take almost 5 minutes to assemble. The shadow ones, you just snap the piece on top of the other one and it's done.
Indeed. I had heard that they were much easier for setup, and that's good to know that that is the case. And I'm glad that we were able to get them made. That will make that a lot easier.
They load and fire faster too.
Yeah.
Perfect.
The only downside to them is that whoever is going to be aiming them is going to have to muscle memory their angle because you don't get a frame of reference like you do the normal ones. So practice with the normal ones and get that muscle memory in, I'd say.
It's got a deep voice.
You said you made 10, yes?
Yeah,
Yeah, Tsuyuki.
they're with
yeah.
Eden.
If possible, Eden, I'd like to get a setup of them so I can see what that's going to behave like.
Yeah, sure thing.
With the
Before
size
we
of...
continue, real
Sorry.
quick, I don't think there's anybody in here who's going to disagree with the use of trebuchets to take down their walls and armament. There?
I do.
No, you do, Thunder. I have my doubts about it as well, but
I would like to hear them. So let's hear the reasons for those doubts, because I think it's important we can provide the trust in it.
I have no doubt that your trebuchets can destroy their walls. Problem is, first salvo, we're gonna have a hell of a fight on our hands as they pour out of that fucking fort. Right.
Indeed.
So, We have to then fight that battle and advance slowly. And by the time we even get to the second gate, we're gonna have injuries galore, possibly deaths, and more deathclaw than we can handle. We do not have the numbers, as much as your plan does have merit, to conduct a siege.
The two tactics I had and thought about, and this needed to be discussed either way as it was not fleshed out at the time, was a twofold approach. We can't just waltz straight up to their walls without meeting that same force. So the idea would be to either hold ground near the front entrance so that way it buys time for the trebuchets to get at least a few shots in, or to have them have the forces split at each of the different locations. I don't imagine we're going to have enough people confident for launching more than 2 at a time. And the structure we've tested with involves 3 people. 1 to wind them back up, 1 to fire, and 1 to be the spotter, to help the person firing get closer to the shot they need to.
Oh, I'm absolutely confident you can run them effectively with 2.
Very well. I'd like
And
to
you're
work
positive you
on
won't hit any friendlies with it?
Me? Yeah,
as
I am.
long
You're
as
not the only person, though, are you?
as long as we are not running into the wall while they're being bombarded, I don't believe that'll be an issue. The shots have a long enough reach that if we don't push too close inward, we shouldn't have the risk of hitting friendlies.
What range do you have on a trebuchet?
Roughly about 120 steps from where they're placed. Elevation also depends on how far they can go. Firing angle from what we've tested is about 25 to 35 degrees, and it gives you the closest amount of range. And the speed needed to land fast onto their target instead of arcing it so high that it takes time for it to come back down.
Alright. Okay, let's say this goes ahead. There's gonna be masses of deathclaw pouring out the moment you launch your first salvo. And they're gonna target your trebuchet team. Without a shadow of a doubt, you can guarantee that's where the Ravagers and the Stalkers are gonna aim. How do you intend to manage all of those deathclaw, take down their walls, and protect your trebuchet teams with the handful of people we have here?
You realize the same amount of Deathclaw would be behind those walls to begin with if you're going to walk in.
Doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
I'll
There are ways-
Can
interject
you-
here.
Actually, can I just
Interject here.
ask?
Go ahead.
I just want to ask Xander, instead of a just an absolute denial, can you explain why?
I'm asking. I wasn't denying anything. I'm asking what his plan is for it. So, don't make me say things that I'm not saying.
Let me
And
interject
listen to the
here.
words.
I see both sides of this. I feel like the trebuchets are going to be needed. Do give us an assistance with staying out of the teeth of that fortune. But my personal opinion, if we set up trebuchets and we're dedicating 2 people to them, it's 12 people. We're going to be dedicated to these salvos. So they do pour out. We maintain trying to defend our trebuchets. Leaves a rather large area where their numbers are going to be a lot more useful.
This is why we
Perhaps.
wouldn't maintain all of them at once.
What you're saying is 2, 3 2-man groups.
Or
6 individuals running the trebuchet.
exactly. That was the idea. The reason for having so many stashes of them prepared is that we can then, once one is discovered, we don't need to defend it for long. If it is about to be overrun, we abandon it and move on to the next one. It keeps our range of fire variable enough that it should be harder to pinpoint. Obviously, they're going to be chasing us from one to the next. However, if we can get them angled properly during the night while we set up, they still have to get through a small defensive wall that we have mapped out to house the trebuchets. So they'll have a small force to have to deal with them, the wall then to break through to get at the team. Once that wall is breached, we abandon it and move on to the next.
And you're having to build these little trebuchet turrets, for lack of a better word, without being seen.
They're
Takes about
far enough away that, in theory, we have some tree cover to help give us that opportunity. And doing it under the cover of night should also give us a good chance.
with the shadow ones, you're set up in about 10 seconds, and you'll fire a shot every 2.
Well, I get that. But he's on about building a wall around them too.
The idea is once the foundations are placed, then the wall will get established, assuming we can even get them up. But we shouldn't be firing them until everything's in position. And we've dealt with their own trebuchets. Because then we don't have to deal with them throwing things back at us afterwards.
So what's your plan for dealing with their trebuchets?
We've tested the durability of those trebuchets on the ones that we've made. 3 casts of a destructive spell for range will get rid of them. About 70 explosive arrows will get rid of them, and a singular large explosive barrel will get rid of them. So to deal with those, I would suggest someone light on their feet that can also cast spells go and deal with those 3. They will know that we're starting something when that happens, but again, we shouldn't be beginning any sort of attack until we've established our foothold with those things set up, due to the amount of time that they take.
Going back to the trebuchets, why don't you just launch all 6 at once, keep the forces held back until then?
I felt it was risky to pin all the amount needed for it, and at the time of talking about this, we were expecting 2 3-man teams. If we can man one of these other ones with 2 people, that would make it a little easier. But I am on Valerian's side of, with us spread so thin like that, it will make it hard to defend.
Right, so having all your forces around the trebuchets until they've launched, you don't have to worry about that.
Well, necessarily. The thing about it is, it depends on the absolute goal of what we're trying to do with the trebuchets. The goal is only to get us in, and move some of their walls and other obstructions that may be in the way. I personally only think possibly 2, 3 at the most salvos is all we really need.
Yeah, you just use them to open the door, right?
Yeah,
The thing about it is, there's a way to limit this. It's going to take trebuchets to be trying to focus deeper into the fortress, and we use their wall against them. They're going to be funneling out that gate. You know the way that King's Niche is laid out. If they have a gate down there below that ridge, we could actually hold that gate for a time. If we let them get out in the open field and spread us out, we're done. Not going to be able to hold that.
As we had talked about this whole situation while we were practicing them, the only purpose for the trebuchets that we had was to break down their main gate and hopefully break down some of the other wall archer outposts that they had. We're all firing in towards the mouth. The demon fire barrage does enough splash with the explosive jars that it should hit a few walls at a time. We only need a couple good hits to start breaking them down very quickly. Anything after that's going to be a bonus. So even if it means we take out large chunks of their forces that are in there with them, that the only main purpose with the design was to break down the wall. Go ahead, Borga.
You said you tested the resilience of a trebuchet against attack. Have you tested the resilience of a gate from an attack by a trebuchet and, furthermore, other sources of damage, such as explosives or battering round? See what's the most effective.
We've tested it on the walls. The similar walls that we were able to put up only takes about, what would you say, Leilani, about 2 or 3 the demon fire barrages to break it down, yes?
Yeah, it sounds about right. I believe it's 3.
And the alternative options and placed explosives, you measured that?
We didn't measure the placed explosives, but we did measure with destructive magic, such as the flame spells and the arcane spells. Leilani has the results of those tests.
Yes, I tested with explosive arrows and multiple different types of spells on the wall. And from our testing, the disruption spell works the best. I think it takes about 30 to 35 seconds to take down a wall with that magic, and about 31 casts of it.
It's quite a bit.
It is. It's a very long-term, or a much longer time to do it, but we do have a decent amount of arcade mages that can assist with it in theory.
I dispute that at this point. If you're saying you're going to use 6 people on trebuchets, if you had 6 people that could do that magic, that 35 seconds becomes a much smaller number.
Indeed.
Did you test Void of Insanity?
I'm not familiar with the spell.
Nor am I.
It's blood magic related. It's rather destructive also.
I just tested with multiple different fire spells, some water magic, and some arcane.
But you didn't test it on a gate. Just a wall.
No. Correct.
How do we handle the portals?
I'm sure we'll get there, Crow.
We haven't got to that point.
We're working on entry first. Why are we not just running in there with a fuck ton of explosives and leveling it?
Because I'm all in favor of that. Spear tip, that's what we need.
But there's 3 ways to enter the niche.
My concern with the explosives is that is a cave. We don't want to cause a cave in.
And trebuchets won't do that.
The trebuchet, the demon fire is an explosive of its own. It's made out of explosives.
The hope with the trebuchets was to keep most of the forces out of unnecessary fighting until we can get through. Obviously, that's a wishful thinking, but the time we can get potentially 2 to 3 shots off into the niche is, in theory, could work out faster and before the forces show up and start to actually retaliate.
I mean, if you're throwing the ballistas at them, that's going to get their attention. And then you have, what about the tunnel that leads to the back of the team?
Mana thing?
But we're not at that point yet.
Out of the way.
Yes, we're still trying to get into the building to begin with.
But what if you use all 3 parts to get into the building?
Please elaborate.
So you have the trebuchets firing to the front. That's going to draw their attention and the forces to the front. In the meantime, I don't know how their fortifications are towards the top, but you have the tunnel in the back that leads to a plateau on the side, and also a clearing at the very top of the niche.
Wait, what?
They have walls over the entryway that come down to where you cannot just come in through the top.
Basically, every entrance and exit is covered, Krill.
Krill, are you talking about the tunnels that takes you from the mountains side to the savannah?
From Crown Grove to King's Niche, yes.
That just gets you from one side to the other. There's only one front entrance. There's only like one entrance into the niche.
Realistically, finding a balance is what we're going to have to do here. Trebuchets are going to be useful with breaking the wall. But
Any amount of damage we can do, even if it's just a little bit before we're faced with their forces, is better than nothing.
And either way, we risk a cave-in because you're using explosives. The trebuchet's impact before an explosion will also cause problems.
Can I point out to you how many explosives the Deathclaw used, many nights ago now, and it's still standing?
guess what I'm trying to say, we need to find the balance between preparation and speed. With 2-3 salvos at the most, can break down fully a majority of what we need to make the advance. With one understanding that getting through the first gate and trying to make it up to the next level is going to choke point us and bottleneck us. Niche itself later on is already going to do this. It creates a problem for a lot of our fighters and mages. Anytime want to be in an open area, but it also needs to be an area that we can control. It can't be the wide open field. This is why I say can't set back on our trebuchets to make sure that we get absolute destruction out of them. We have to fire them, get maximum yield, leave them, in my opinion.
What about one salvo of all 6? And regardless of what damage they do, we charge in, and if there's no hole, we finish off the hole with explosives.
That's what I'm getting at. If they're saying that we have a 2 to 3 second window for reload and relaunch, we should be able to get within 15 seconds. We should be able to get 3 salvos off and make our charge. My thinking with that is, doesn't need to be just the front gate that is the target. It needs to be deeper into the facility to cause even more damage. Something that we don't have to follow what they have put in place.
I have a question. Warren, when you say 2 to 3 salvos, is that from one trebuchet?
Yes.
Alright, well, we have 6, correct? You want to use 6?
I want to use at least 3 fully built up and manned.
Alright,
two was what we planned for.
Okay. Then utilize all 6 of them. 1 salvo, 3 of them against the front wall gate. That's gonna destroy it. That's 3 salvos technically. And then you aim the
That's
other
what
3
I said.
further in. Yeah, exactly. You aim the other 3 further in. Once all 6 have launched, you charge. Those that are on the trebuchets catch up. So you make sure it's fast people on the trebuchets so they can join the back of the spear tip, so to speak. There you've utilized everything, speed and your trebuchets.
Makes sense to me. Do we have enough people that can man the trebuchets and confidently get them in within the first, say, 1 or 2 shots?
You need at least 3 people that can make those shots consistently.
Once they're pointed in the right direction, the angle and the angle of it should not be a problem. And fortunately, the King's Niche is large enough that I believe it's a wide enough target. It should not be a problem.
Yeah. 1-2 shots. You may even only need 1 shot. And if Eden believes it can only take 2 people, then he can help people where that's concerned, right?
Can do.
Right, so there's 12 people. We have enough small, agile people here that would be able to catch up with the original spear tip once the salvo's gone off. And that way we even bottleneck them. Because if we've charged as the trebuchets unleashed, they ain't gonna get out that gate, are they? Because we're fucking there already. And we push the spear tip through to the fucking caverns. We get it. Hopefully the destruction of the trebuchets has already paved us a path. And all we gotta do is mop up the pieces.
Indeed. To us, when we discussed it, that is pretty much what they're used for. Come knocking on their door with it, and then we have the ability to make it through. Anything else is a benefit, or a bonus.
So what we need right now, the people who can run those 6 trebuchets.
Perhaps those that are willing to and capable to do so take a step out into the center so we can get an idea.
I need names so that I can write them down.
Indeed, that should make it easier.
Yeah, we need to be fast, people.
No, get up here.
Oh, okay. Where am I going?
Yeah, that's
Over
right.
here,
And
Mia.
So, just for clarification, what are these people expected to do other than aim and fire a trebuchet? Because you said 2 people.
1 to load, 1 to fire. The one loading will
We just
probably
start
also
together.
have to act as an eye to make sure they're facing the right direction. But I think you should be able to get a general sense of where the mouth is and be able to aim it.
Right now, what
This
we're
one can
focused
load
on,
one.
we're focused on right now, those who are going to putting up and firing the trebuchet. As far as those that can reload for them, you can designate people to do that. That shouldn't be much of a problem.
It has to be whoever is in the same clan with them, though.
Indeed. I know June was practicing for a bit. Kendi, do you feel... Would you rather assist with the reloading, or do you think you can take aim with one of them? What was your feeling with it?
I'm confident with reloading.
Very well. Stone, were you confident in firing one? These are going to be packaged, so you can take them yourself. They all don't have to be done in the same clan, at least as far as that goes. You just have to place them down.
Oh no, they've never touched one, but they figured they could load a rock or a demon fire barrage, but that does not sound like an option anymore.
Yeah, but one of you is gonna have to shoot them too.
That's why this one said it doesn't sound like an option anymore, so they're sitting back down.
Very well.
It may be worth considering that the first trebuchet that was placed down could cause issues for the other trebuchets being placed down.
That's been
It does
tested too.
not.
Oh,
We had,
Four of
at
them lined up,
Eden's,
didn't it?
they had 3 of them in 3 different clans placed side by side.
Yes. No problems.
Lafayette, you were running the trebuchet pretty well, but are you alone, or is there somebody with you in your clan?
No, I'm alone.
Shit.
Are you confident with firing one, Lafette? Oh, wait.
50-50.
Temporary paperwork's
either.
our thing. It's
Yes.
alright. When it comes from my side, both Seth and Namira know how to work them as well, so they can help out.
How about
Right
Q?
now,
She was having quite a bit of a good time with it.
We shouldn't have to worry about paperwork. I'm sure you can work it out for the event of this.
now I have Warren, Mia, and Eden.
June as
I
well.
recommend.
He's
and June.
lost in thought at the moment, but June can.
June?
Well, I don't recommend it's anyone that's not a frontline fighter.
You can definitely put Seth on there too.
Keen.
Yeah, if it's near.
And you are fast, and you were getting practice with it the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if you can call it practice. She was an absolute monster with those shots.
Garen
You
was
just
doing
kept
a
going.
phenomenal job too, but you don't want frontline fighters do anything but frontline, so.
The big people are going to be needed to push the spear tip.
We can try and fire if Arcane wants to.
Yes, we can get some practice.
Very well.
But right now, Mia, Warren, June, Eden, Keen, Seth. Who else? Stone, you and Thunder, I believe. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
How many's that?
With Stone, that should be 6 if I counted correctly.
Stone, it's actually 7.
Oh,
we
good.
we have a full team of 6 shooters. With should we have a person to reload for them?
I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, they do need to be in the same clan to reload. So then that would mean Cinder would assist Stone with the reload. Anyone else in our house can assist, but at the end of the day, I know that we can handle reloading ourselves with the practice we've had. It's just easier to not have to move back and forth if we can help it.
It's understandable. See if we have Kendi, Ilani. It's 2 for one for June.
We'll need one for Mia still. Unless Mia's confident in being able to handle it herself.
I believe Vasil will be awake that day, so he can also help.
Good.
With Mia's trebuchet.
Hopefully one salvo from 6 will be enough. There'll be no need for a reload.
Indeed. One other piece of this that we had thought might be beneficial and perhaps draw us a little bit more time was to shroud King's Niche in a veil of darkness to make it so they can't quite use their own trebuchets on us while we approach if we can't seem to get rid of them in time. I have one final piece of testing to do for that before I'm confident in it, but I think that that might be beneficial should we not be able to dispose of their artillery.
If you're shrouded in darkness, are you not hindering your own view?
The idea would be, once we're done with our assault, to recast it elsewhere so it dispels off of the niche. But that's the part that I'm not confident in yet. I don't know if that's how the spell works, as I've never had to cast it more than once, and we usually just let it dispel over time.
So, to recap something for me, because I was having a bit of a think. Why is there a spearhead as we're shooting the trebuchets?
It's after you fight the trebuchets.
So right after. So some of the bigger fighters could start on the trebuchets, and a little bit before we end using them, they could become that spear tip if needed.
The moment the barrage lands is when the spear tip's moving in.
Presumably from the location that the trebuchets are in, right? Or not?
Depends how far away they are.
The farthest one that I had seen is near the Circle of Swords. That would be the farthest placement.
Too far
If we're only using them for that quick initial barrage, we don't need to be that far away at all, though. Necessarily. I'm just thinking, because if we have some of the bigger fighters also running a trebuchet, we just have that initial bigger barrage, and then they can start to charge, right? It's just an idea, that's all.
How many again? How many of them are going to be out there?
Will be 6 trebuchets.
There will be 6. So what if it's kind of set up like a fan, and only the 2 in the middle shoot first? And once they start flooding out, the others fire from different locations.
Yeah, so
they're going to go for the ones in the middle.
We don't want them flooding out.
So what I think
they're going
Mocha's saying,
to anyway.
But what I think Mocha's saying is that you have two or three, whatever, how many trebuchets further up close that launch that initial barrage, and immediately after they start moving forward. And that's where the heavy fighters are. The frontliners.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Well, I think Valerian doesn't want to fight them in the open field.
They're going to be at a distance. Don't want us until we barrages hit. Have to cover a distance and give them advantage of holding us in the field and creating another wave, another battlefield that we're going to have to traverse to. But
I'm just thinking, because if you do it quick enough, you can shoot them from that close that it isn't much of a different distance to traverse at all. Because being any closer than what I'm thinking about is being in their line of sight anyway. And that would give everything away.
The tree line
That's
is
the whole
thin.
point.
Yes.
So that's what I mean. You say that's the point, but if we launch that barrage from there with the heavy fighters, then immediately after they charge, and that's still your element of surprise. Because being any closer than doing it from right there is to give your position away. I mean, being any closer than where I'm thinking about is to just be inside anyway, already.
We're going to start with I guess what we're now calling the spear tip. The heavy group will be in front of the trebuchet, still out of line of sight. The command is given for the salvos to go. That is when we will advance. Hopefully, arriving shortly. Right. Hopefully, what's going to happen once they realize they've been hit, they start to flood out those gates, we can close the battlefield off. We're not going to be able to completely stop them. They are trying to open their gate. What we're not trying to do is give ourselves away from stalkers or give them an entire battlefield flood with numbers where our illusions are going to be overrun.
Seems to be
Fighters
going
are
in
going to be
circles.
overrun. And
But
we
then
have
again,
to take
that's
care of
those
that
meetings.
entire situation before we can ever make entry.
That's exactly what I'm saying, though.
We're saying the same thing, we're just saying it differently then. It doesn't really matter if we have you running a treb or if you have someone smaller running a treb. What I'm getting at. Don't understand where it's going to make much of a difference.
The only difference that it would make is that you can have extra trebuchets out there that you just use for 1 or 2 shots and then abandon, because that's what they're meant for anyway. Extra shots is extra damage.
Well, if we have 6 trebuchets with what you're saying is a 2-second reload time, someone standing there reloading them, the time it takes to advance should be able to get off 2, if not 3 salvos in that time. Is that not correct?
Yes.
And then by the time the spear tip reaches it, we can just walk in.
Yeah, if we're getting 18 projectiles at this wall, It is still completely standing by the time we get there, then we've already done something terribly wrong.
Yeah, more blanketing is not a bad thing in my opinion. We might blast some fucking Deathclaw into pieces too.
I understand that. Goal, what we're trying to achieve here is to get these shots off, get the wall down. We want to progress as far into the keep as we have to keep pushing forward.
Yeah, and
fighting.
I fully understand and agree. I agree on that. The thing I was suggesting was the only difference there is instead of our frontline spear tip headers standing there waiting for the barrage, they're gonna just be there for the initial barrage and shoot their own shots and immediately after discharge.
Right, but we're going to be moving in as the initial barrage is in the air.
Exactly. So you launch and you go.
Well, see what you're saying. But I am trying to put it to you like we spread out, and let's say we set up 18 trebuchets. Because with theory, you could set up 18 trebuchets, all of us chunk rocks at this thing. What happens when a stalker catches us and a portal opens right in the middle of us?
Okay, but what happens if a stalker catches any one of us moving that day?
Setting up the trebuchets and the warriors are there ready to fight when the first salvo goes off. At least we will be able to respond to that portal. Or to any kind of attack. I don't really see... We've already got 6 trebuchets. There's no point in having any more than that.
I agree. I think it will get too difficult to manage that many. And we'll be spending too much time trying to make sure that they're up.
Six trebuchets. Have the people firing, the people reloading. We'll advance to the wall. Of course, moving through the camp. Through, if I remember correctly, it is 3 walls. Is that right?
Yes, staggered, but not complete walls. The mouth of the niche, where it's part of the mountain before the ledge, will have 2 archer outposts used as forward scouts, if I am imagining their strategy correctly. And then a 6-man archer wall up against the cliff that leads into the mouth of the niche. Above them is a bunch of palisades, and then behind that would be the first trebuchet. On either side of the mouth of King's Niche is another 6-wall archer wall, and then you have the step into the niche, which has their walled-off gate.
That gate's gonna have to be done with explosives.
If we get the shots right, it should be gone with the trebuchets pretty easily. But again, we're putting a lot of faith in doing a single or up to 3 shots from each trebuchet, and then just moving in.
Trebuchets
so we have to make those count.
Yes, they need to have a clear goal to break down what walls they have there. A perfect scenario where this plan goes exactly how we want it to. We get the first shot, we start moving towards the walls start coming down. Possibly 2 more shots, 2 more salvos. So a maximum of 3 if we are quick. We get a maximum of 3 shots. I don't think that they are going to be able to use those trebuchets, hone in on where we're at, and throw them by that amount of time. And we're talking about a span of 15 to 20 seconds here once the first salvo leaves. By the time we arrive at the gate, those that were firing the trebuchets and the remainder arrive at the end of the spear tip. The trebuchets are not going to mean much.
And ideally, we should have dealt with them before we even started firing the trebuchets. They should be working in tandem. As quickly as they get dismissed or dispersed, we then fire the barrages. Then we shouldn't have to worry about theirs at all.
I just want to say, This is supposed to be 5 phases and we're still stuck on the one after almost an hour. Why not have those that are manning the trebuchets after this meet and get some practice in?
Agreed. I think we've hit as much of this as we're going to be able to work out here.
Ring around the rosy.
How do you intend to take out their trebuchets without giving away that we're there?
In a sense, they would act as an opener, but I think at this point it's best to just leave them alone and fire off. Have a mage ready to disperse of them with the spearhead moving in. And that would be their first task, is to get rid of them.
Alright. Phase 2 then.
Phase 2 is going to be moving into the tunnels of King's Niche, getting Dwarf back to move the stone out of the way, so we can access the tunnels. Being inside of their fortress and pushing our way through. There's no way for me to determine how long that's going to take. We want to try to do it with a balance of speed and trying to keep people steadily progressing forward, but the problem is going to lie within the tunnels. Yeah, I brought up the idea of our heavier fighters using shield. I am not opposed to that. I've actually made one myself. I assume that we can get others outfitted with them as well. And what I would think, and can compound on this in a moment, we have the main corridor at the very top, one where we had our previous engagement. You have the middle level, which is quite as open. It is a tunnel that leads to that, and then a tunnel down to the bottom floor where the stone is, where we need to get cross tag to move the stone. Stone's still in place. I don't think we are in any worry of anything coming from that tunnel, which we will have to worry about. I think it needs to be on all of our minds, even during the first phase of this, is going to be portals. They have the ability to open portals, send troops through a moment's notice. If we can push through, we can take that middle room, clear out the bottom, and set up a 2-layer defense to hold it. From what I understand, it's probably going to take anywhere from a half hour to an hour for Throstak to do what he needs to do.
From what he told us, it should be about 20 to 30 minutes.
But that's uninterrupted.
Indeed.
Most of the majority of their forces, if we use our illusions correctly and we use our shields to hold them back, we can keep their warriors at bay long enough. We still don't have much of an answer for their stalkers and ravagers.
Magical barrier.
Explain yourself, Sam.
We have our mages prepare barriers that simply repel Deathclaw biology. We know what they're made of. Done enough biopsies.
So you risk your mages that need to amend the portals already by having them put up these warp barriers.
You only need one. Block the doorway at the bottom of the stairs to the room with one of those barriers.
Is it really just that simple?
Sometimes it seems that way, but making the barrier would be a different question entirely.
I will say we've tried warding doors with different types of magic, and nothing has kept the stalkers from going through them.
I'm not saying just use a type of magic. You know what they're made of, Leilani.
Yes.
So you construct something that doesn't let them through. The same as their portals don't let us through. Because we're not Deathclaw.
We'd have to have a mage that wasn't going to work on portals to do that because they're going to exhaust themselves keeping that barrier up.
Grim.
I don't mean to
Good stuff.
change the subject.
I love meetings.
Real quick, but I have to go to sleep soon, and I just wanted to bring up that last night, me, Lucius, and the support of a few others were able to successfully craft a ring and set of armor to protect against divine magics. And I just wanted to let everybody know before I need to go.
Well, appreciate that. You be able to make multiples people.
Yes, we'll be able to make multiples. It's gonna be a lot of work, but we can do it. Sorry to change the subject again. Just
Fine. Appreciate you keeping it the point.
of course. And if you would like the first ones, I can give you the armor set and the ring. That way you have it, and we can make more.
It'll be just fine. To the barriers. Thank you.
Of course. Alright. I need to head home and go to sleep.
Sona, can you open the door? Thank you. What I want to say about that is I don't have any expertise or knowledge. Mages are going to have to answer that question. If it's not something that we can do, we need to determine that and know that Leilani, Stone, Vanellope. I'm not sure of the other mages that are going to be closing portals. That's just going to be the majority of what they are going to be doing. If a portal is open on the battlefield, we are going to make every effort to surround it, clear it out, secure the area, let them close the portal. Something that we're going to don't have a choice. Can't leave it open. Go ahead, Amani.
You said if they open a portal, will they even need to? Is there not one deeper in that they could just pour out of?
That passage is blocked by that rock still. I don't think we have to worry about them coming from that area until we've cleared it. I think that for them to enforce that area, yes, they would absolutely have to open up portals. It's the same as they've done to us the last time we tried to assault this place.
Okay, I was just a bit worried about that.
In my thoughts, matter warriors to have a shield with them, capable and able to use it. We will create a shield wall to stop any advancement from their warriors. Use illusions to our advantage. We have in the past. It's not going to change.
I have never used a shield in my life.
I'm sure we can find one big enough for you, Sander.
It's not the fact of finding one big enough. I wouldn't know how to fucking hold it.
Put it over your face. You'll be fine.
Why would I
What are you doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow? Nightmares.
It's not
When
a
we have
situation-
time and train you.
Before this happens, none.
If you're not going to have time, then stick with what you know. I've had experience with shields in the past. No other warriors that have as well. We will just beef up that number and we will use them where we can. As far as the lower room, the only tactics that I would think would be beneficial to us in a enclosed area if we do get a Ravager or a Stalker is going to be to absolutely overwhelm them. Getting them one-on-one and just try to avoid them. If we were in a open environment like we would be out front, that would be doable. In those tunnels, we're not going to be able to do that. We would just have to work together. Make sure that we put 5-6 times the pressure on them as they put on us. They suffer from a lot of the same things we do. They're in a tight area. We can keep all the other warriors away, we could outnumber their captains. And they may have the advantage in combat. By doing this particular area, using this particular tactic, I believe that we can offset that. We had a group of our agile fighters, others who are familiar possibly with claws, daggers, things like that, or of a direct line of a fight everything kind of style. We could possibly hold them off long enough to give Rostak what he needs to get done.
He will need a protection detail. Unfortunately, they do tend to just ignore everyone else and go straight for him when we were down there last.
Yep. Keeping them off him is not going to happen. They will get to him. Period. We just need to get them off him as quickly as possible, which again is a near impossible task. Because as Warren said, they just ignore you.
That's where I believe these shields will at least buy some more time for him than just trying to swing at them while they're while the Stalker or Ravager is hitting him. At least their weapons will bounce off the shield temporarily.
You would be a perfect candidate to hold a shield, Xander. You're already as big as a wall in the first place. Put a shield in front of you, you're not getting hit. And nothing's getting past you.
I get that. I can block a doorway, no problem. I did that last time for the majority of things, but the Ravagers just jumped over me 9 times out of 10.
That's why the shield will come in handy.
You will not be able to. If you're in the corridor, it will.
Like I said, I haven't used a shield ever. I'll have to come and try and see you before we enact this on Saturday, Tiva. I just need to hold it, that's it. It can't be that hard.
I believe almost everyone, outside of those who have a job during this time, should hold a shield in the first place. Whether you use it or not really matters not. If someone needs to move, we need someone to take their place immediately, and not handing shields over. You already have one on you.
I'm gonna need a big shield.
That
Find
can
a
be
nice,
arranged.
large stone doorway for you. You can use that as the shield.
Very well. And let's try the shields then. Perhaps we put a protection detail with cross-stack. Carrying the shield. This way we can keep whatever comes off of them. We'll try to contain whatever comes through the tunnels, the second corridor. We can do that effectively. Hopefully that will give him a full opportunity to get that stone.
I'm sorry, I have 3 questions.
For it.
The first question is, were we able to determine if the initial dwarves that died at the King's Niche were killed by Ravagers or something that came through the rock? Because those deaths occurred before the portal appeared.
I don't think anybody was even aware of that.
Wait,
So,
I'm sorry. Hold on. What was the question?
The dwarves that died before the portal appeared, did we determine what killed them?
Yeah,
yes.
But cause of death was pickaxe to the head, actually, but we won't go into those details.
To answer your question, we don't know if it came from cavern or through a portal. No.
My second question is, what happened with the portal team that was supposed to shut down the portal? I understand they weren't successful, I just didn't know what happened there.
We never got to the portal, and by the time a portal showed up downstairs, we were already calling the retreat.
Indeed.
We were down in the bottom level. If there were any portals up top, we did not know of them.
So, okay, so there was a portal up top
I'm sorry.
at the entrance, and the portal closing team was not aware of it then, correct?
Correct.
Team was split with some being below, some being up top.
Okay, thank you. And my last question is, there are multiple tunnels that lead out from the cavern where the energy source is. Have we given up on finding an alternate entrance?
Given what we have, what we know is going to happen on Sunday, yes, I'm not looking for an alternate entrance. No, there's an entrance there. We have to make it through there.
Okay, so if there's anyone on the closing portal team who needs to provide me with special instructions on how to attune my magics to theirs, please seek me out and I will be glad to work with you.
So you are volunteering to help us close portals?
Yes.
Okay. They will add your name to the list. We don't need much. You will just need to provide either arcane, blood, or soul to the catalyst. That it is simple as that. The catalyst is the one that does most of the work, honestly.
I have all of those, though.
Then, as they said, when the time comes, we will call upon you.
What I can't say.
Oh wait,
for my
hold on.
job-
I think he was on the illusionist team the last time, so are we taking away from that team now?
That
Or
is
is there
the
going to be a
problem with
balance?
That's the problem with this one trying to get more mages, is that most of them also do the illusions, and they can't pull away from that.
There's going to be a balance. It comes to the battlefield side of it. We'll be listening what he can do. He can be illusionist and he can be helping with closing the portal. They need him to close the portals. Obviously he's going to be empowering the catalyst. It means that somebody else is going to be available to a solution.
Right. And I don't think we're really going to need the illusions at the bottom. I mean, it's a tight space as fuck, and if we've got shields blocking the entrance, I don't think much is going to get down.
It is hard to get the opportunity to cast them down there.
Yeah, you found that out the hard way.
Very much so.
So you're thinking once we're down at the bottom, the top is going to be completely clear and the people up there fighting are going to be just fine.
Didn't say that. I said we won't need them down the bottom.
In the area where the wall is blocked, where Throstog is going to need to work. And it's not that they're not needed, it's that it's too difficult to get the spell to cast in that space. It is cramped and not much room to move. And with them evolving their tactics to start focusing down individuals that are providing the distractions needed or the progress we need, it makes it hard to get the spell going in that space.
Without
I think the
standing on fire
illusions would
pit.
be better up top. Indeed.
The King's Niche, within 10 minutes of the Death Call of Hearing, there was a portal established.
Yeah, not down the bottom there. If the portal team is going to be needed, because I expect they'll probably put the portal where
Back up top again.
It will probably start up top, so the portal team, regardless of what's going on down the bottom, need to be up the top.
Why not just let them put a portal at top? Everyone goes down below. The shield wall keeps anything from going to anybody else.
There is that.
Yes.
All right, fine. I'll hold
Now,
back,
where we
hold
were with
tight.
that?
Take it in turns with Sayuki and Garen to block the door.
Second room and the lower room is what we will utilize. Top is going to be way too open. If they put a portal up there, we're just going to have to hold the corridor. That is what we're proposing.
Indeed. Our numbers are already small enough. There is no need to separate us. Keep us all together, because this part of it is only but the beginning. Trying to keep people as healthy as we can for now. Once we get past this point, now we venture into the unknown.
And that's the point. The moment that the dwarf gets that breach cleared, we're all gonna have to get through there as fast as fucking possible. If we're all up top, we're gonna fight through a wave of deathglow.
Indeed. So eliminate that altogether. Everybody just goes down below. Shields protect the way in. If anything was to get through the shields, we have a room full of people who are going to be able to stop them.
Imani's got her hand up.
Go ahead.
Are we certain that once we get down there, there is a way through, and we are not just voluntarily walking into our own tomb?
No, there is no guarantee of that. There is one that we cannot go down there. Our tombs will be brought to us on Sunday.
Indeed.
Oh, I was just curious about how much we know about down there. I mean, there's a wall that I am assuming none of us really know what is behind.
Very deep
Mages. Sorry.
We know from what the mages discovered that there is a chamber down there. I can't guarantee what behind that stone leads to that chamber, but we do know there's something down there.
Either way, we're all dead on Sunday. So we kind of don't really have a choice. We need to find out what's behind that fucking rock. And we're gonna find out.
This one can say with a degree of certainty that there is a pathway behind that rock. It goes down into caverns and tunnels. There is something behind it.
All right.
Okay, that is what I was curious about. Do we have any actual idea what lays behind it?
Unknown caverns and tunnels.
Which leads us nicely onto phase 3.
Indeed it does. This is just my thinking of the matter. As it's been pointed out, this is, in my opinion, the point of no return. We don't know what we're getting into. We don't know what we're facing. You can only expect that they're going to throw their
Alrighty, I'm back.
absolute worst at
Supposed to
us.
help my roommate move some of her furniture around. She's getting a TV.
The forces that they have, I feel that we are going to have to push our way into that tunnel once it is cleared. I don't think that whatever forces they have on the top will retreat. Could be wrong about that. Once they realize that we have a way, they very well may pull their forces back and bolster whatever lies beneath. We have to continue the fight into the cavern. Those that have sustained any heavy injury or anything, what we will do is we will try to move as a ball, as a unit. Just keep pushing our way into the... We come to a crossroads. What I am going to suggest is our scouts, make sure that we have torches, things like that for us to check corridors, see what kind of opening we can get. By no means are we going to split the group. Not going to be an option. The only way this group splits is if they absolutely force us to. By having our scouts, Mocha, Keen, Wolf, one with the ability to move quickly, no matter that we maybe ambush or something like that. If they can find us a direction or a area, this one.
Finish your thought. This can wait till you're done.
Hope is that if we run into some type of crossroads by doing this, we can use that time to cover those that have sustained heavy injury. We can off what may be coming down the pass behind us. We would find an area to recuperate momentarily while we put out feelers to find our direction and our heading. Ages at that time may be beneficial for you to thinking of a way to sense or feel the magics and feel your way around through the caverns. Anything to give us an advantage. We don't want to be thinking about this at the last minute. If there is a way for you to sense such things and draw direction, that would be very beneficial. Don't want to have to send out multiple people. But
the only
Add a little
possible good
bio
news
to
this
him.
one can provide is during that last round of testing in the group that was looking into the power underneath King's Niche, they were told that they believe it is directly under King's Niche. We should not have to go far.
Very well. One thing I would suggest, if we do get a moment of reprieve, we might want to have one of the illusions camouflage and try to find a escape route in case we need to retreat a different direction.
do you mean retreat a different direction?
Yes, if we get overwhelmed once we get down below and we've done our initial scouting, having somebody finding another way out, which some believe there are, might be the gambit or useful?
I don't think retreat's an option. We keep pushing forward until we destroy whatever it is they've got down there.
No retreat, no surrender. Got it.
Well, let that be very clear with everyone. Any of you are expecting me to call any kind of retreat, you are going to be disappointed. If you retreat, you will do so on your own. You're going down there to complete an objective. We either complete it or we don't come back. That's my thought. Every person here has to make that call from themselves. Just so you know where I'm at.
Guess this one should ask to make sure everybody understands why. Does everybody understand what's going to happen Sunday if we fail?
Yes.
Or does anybody not know what they're talking about?
And please speak if you don't.
In short, it's the be
This is information that hasn't been provided to me about Sunday.
Oh, yeah, but by land, pretty much.
Basically, Krill, they were scouting the keeps. Seer noticed that if you read the board that he left at the workshop, and they have targeted our home, and they will siege it on Sunday, come hail or high water. So it doesn't matter whether we cooperate with this endeavor here or not. We will be dead, no matter what.
It's not just the last job. It's the last
It's
job.
every
Clear Shore,
home.
Stone Guard, Cold
Correct.
Stone, Night Syndicate, Shadows and Brews. And if they get
Everybody's
done with those, probably everybody else's, but those were the main ones mapped out.
The big houses first, and then they just wipe out
Okay,
on
yes.
the edges.
I reported Steer's findings to Valerian the other day.
So, no retreat. Because it doesn't matter.
Back to phase at hand. As we get into the tunnels, we are not being pressured. We'll take a moment of reprieve for any injuries can be tended to quickly. Where we can hopefully be at our best once we reach our destination and find what we're looking for. Main concern once we enter these tunnels is we do not lose each other and we stay together. Don't take any chances or risks. Run off thinking that you're gonna find something. If we get attacked, your ground, we'll keep making our way together. Everybody understand that?
No stop.
Understood.
Just keep going.
Definitely going to be moving at a slower pace, and we need to be accountable for those that are around us and beside us. Have to stick together. It's not going to be a free-for-all. Listen to what's being said, follow instruction. If I need people to check crossroads or different tunnels, I will direct them personally on what they need to do. Moving on from that to the next phase. Possibly hardest to plan for and the hardest to anticipate. Don't know what we're going to run into down there, but I'm sure once we see it, we'll know it. If it is their main portal, they're going to defend that with everything they have. But fully expect everything we've seen this far and possibly some things that we haven't.
Almost been an hour and a half, 2 hours. Maybe I'm exaggerating. It just feels like it.
If it is just a cavern. We have freedom to move. That changes a little bit. We are going to progress forward. The main objective is going to be to move in, clear our way to the portal, and secure the portal for the mages. There is only one priority that is above that. That is the mage. This plan is, in my mind, it's not going to be much different than what we had prior. We didn't make it into the cavern. Don't know how things are set up. We don't know what we're going to face. If we see a mage, we are facing their hordes. We will need at least 2 illusionists. Just for the sake of going ahead and setting this in motion, I'm going to say Warren and Gene. Grab attention, use myself and Sayuki.
I think now is a good time to look at who's going to be able to assist with closing the portal.
Before
Actually have them stand forward for it.
Indeed. Penelope will be the catalyst. Kingstone be assisting with blood magic. Elani, I believe you're going to be assisting with arcane, is that correct?
Correct.
You have Krill for soul.
We have Krill for soul. Those 4 individuals are going to be our key to closing this portal. They are going to be the highest priority while we are down there. As far as defense goes, we need to make sure that they are taken care of. In case of the mage being present, the reason that I say Warren and June have proven yourselves with the illusions to be able to get them out tight spots and when we need them. Ayuki and myself, given our combat style, garner quite a bit of attention from their warriors without having to work as hard for it as some of the others. Between us 4, we can garner the attention long enough for you to get the illusions up to pull the attention of the hordes off of us. Keep them busy. There's no reason that every other person in this room shouldn't be on that page.
What about protecting the mages themselves? As much as you might be able to gather up the basic death glow, things like Ravagers and Stalkers, they're not going to pay attention to you. They're going to be trying to stop our mages. Might I make a suggestion?
Go ahead.
The mage needs to die, we will agree on that. But I don't think everyone here that's not doing what you've just said should be on it. There are other things on the battlefield as well. So I say assign fast, agile fighters that can up with the people like Wolf, Boka, Keiko, Keen. No matter what they're doing in the battlefield, that mage shows up. That's their task for the remainder of the fight. Stick to it like flies on shit.
How many times have we fought this mage?
Twice.
3 that I could think of. We've had 5, 6, 7 people top of this mage trying to take him down at one time. only to brush it off and get away through a portal. Why I believe that this being our last-ditch effort, we need to make the attempt that it is not absolutely necessary. We need to brute force dogpile this mage.
I won't leave our mages undefended.
You do not understand. If there is a mage in the field, we are not on the portal. We don't get on the portal until the mage is dead.
That portal's just gonna keep pouring more and more Deathclaw through.
And it's gonna be keep getting opened time and time again when they close it, if the mage is alive.
Okay.
The mage
Let's-
could also escape from it.
That sounds
make
like
a
shut off its escape route. Shut off their reinforcement.
So
It's
kill a
What's to
mage,
say you
stop
shut
the
it
portal,
off,
switch
it
stop
doesn't make
dead
another
claws.
one and make its own escape route again.
It'll have flies on it like shit, right?
Deathclaw know the importance of the mage. I guarantee if just a group starts attacking the mage, you're going to have the commander, you're going to have ravagers and stalkers all there to take you all out, to protect their mage. As far as we know, given the past, there is only one mage. They lose that mage, that's all they have. That's how we defeated them in the past. It's how we are going to do it again. As they say, as long as the mage stands, doing anything to a portal is meaningless.
A never-ending battle.
The mage itself can take on large groups. Our agile fighters are not going to be enough.
We all pile on it, we're gonna end up causing each other injuries as well.
And one thing about the source of power is it has multiple sources feeding it. So we're going to have to shut down each one of those sources anyway. So stopping to take care of the priority target isn't it's not going to cause us failure. We will be able to pick up and resume again.
If the mage is not seen and you see a portal, by all means, go straight for that portal. If we're messing around with their creations, I'm sure they will show up eventually.
Guess that's what I'm trying to get at with this. A very good possibility we may not even see the mage. We may not think that the mage is needed there. Their forces will be enough to drive us off. Very well may take us interacting and getting close to that portal, tampering with it, try to close it, bring the mage out. You just all need to understand that once the mage comes out, that portal is no longer in our scope. It's not our focus at that point. Mage is. Don't agree with what you're saying about protecting our mages. I understand the concern with everyone, for lack of a better phrase, dogpiling this mage. We can't afford to not kill it. Can't.
I understand that. I'm not entirely stupid. But 20 people dogpiling one little mate. What if one of us goes down to friendly fire? We can't afford that either. You know, our mages are going to use their most destructive spells to try and kill it, which I don't blame them. I would too if I was in their shoes. I'm going to be swinging my overly sized weapons at it. Archers are going to be trying to shoot it. Stalkers are going to be trying to fucking stab the shit out of it and shadow step.
We've gone through this in the past, Xander. We all have to be mindful of what we're doing and communicate.
And that's going to work with headaches.
We've endured headaches worse than this, too.
Right. So when a divine bomb goes off in your face.
With what Grimlock has told us, that should be taken care of.
Was going to say,
Assuming
I
it
thought that
works.
was the point of the enchantment.
It's still gonna hurt.
It more than likely, and I don't think he would have mentioned it if it wasn't going to work.
He
They
asked
tested
me, he said he wanted to test it. I said I would help him before this meeting. He was never around before this meeting.
I think
I get that protects you. But I'm not susceptible to it like you are. But even a earth magic causes me pain. I'm just trying to think sensibly, that's all. I get we need to dogpile it and kill it. But I don't think we should die killing each other in the process.
You're right. But that's on each and every one of us to be mindful of what we're doing before we do it.
Indeed.
Hmm.
Sometimes we forget our minds are our best weapons. A little bit of logic.
and just communication. A reminder of how the first defense of the forts went and the training grounds is a great example of how that communication went a long way. It's easy to lose yourself in the trance of battle. Try to stay focused and call out things as much as you can. Even if you've heard it before, call it again. That's all we can do.
Yes, that's all we can do. Be mindful.
Mage
of
has
the
to
people
die.
around.
There's no fens or buts or ways around that. We are successful in killing the mage. And we take care of hordes have through the portal. So our illusions split our warrior mage team move into location once we have secured the area around the portal. Don't know where this portal is. We don't know how things are established. If it is an open area, it's going to be much tougher as we are going to have to create a perimeter. At which point our numbers are going to play a factor in that, because we are going to have to put illusions on both sides, probably far enough away. Those that are able to garner attention pulls to the illusions. If the illusions have the attention, we will have fighters and warriors in place to dispatch those hordes effectively. It is away in a corner. You could also employ shield wall. What warriors that can assign, I'll make that designation for who will be pulling away from the portal. The illusionists. I have fighters on the perimeter to take care of the hordes that are at the illusions. These things you've done countless times now. Intangibles that we are going to be faced with are going to be the captains, Ravagers, the Stalkers, the commander himself. Everyone here knows what it's like whenever the commander's on the battlefield.
I don't.
Can't be running away from our help. Can't lose ourselves at all during this process.
Don't lose your mind, people.
Something that I've spoken with Stone about quite a bit is trying to empower Catalyst, Vanellope, one at a time. preferably on the move. A location that we have secured. Once Catalyst is ready, that is when we secure the area around the portal. That way we can move in directly and begin her closing process. I'm sure that she will have to be recharged. I think that's something we also spoke about, Stone, if I'm correct.
Yes, but as they understand, there's been a lot of discussions. The only way we've been able to close these portals is by a steady stream of power. Meaning, all three steadily channeling in. As they said, they can get the empowering started early, but we'll still need to dedicate 4 people to closing a portal at the same time. We can try something different, but we know what works.
We know what works, and we're not trying anything different. We have to have the 4 people. We just have to defend the 4 people. If we get into these tunnels, everything is going to be touch and go. You're going to have to be listening and following directives quickly and as accurately as possible. Everybody here knows that they outnumber us. Very well may be a full sea of Deathclaw down there. We're still going. We will wade through it regardless. It's gonna take us quite a bit of time to be able to do what we gotta do, I am sure. Communication with the mages is going to be paramount. Once we close the portal, after killing the mage, the only other big thing that will stand in our way will be killing the commander. It's not going to be no easy feat by itself. None of this is going to be easy. I don't want anyone to get in their mind that this is going to be a stroll through a park. Things are not going to go our way. We're going to have to adapt and overcome. Phase 4 as the priority stands. We move in. We clear the area. The mage is not there. We go for the portal. The mage shows. Go after the mage. Those that have been assigned to be taking care of the illusion. Yuki and I will take care of garnering attention. I'm not saying that there's not a possibility that we won't need help. It is, we'll call for it. I don't want to pour any resource that we absolutely don't have to away from that mage. Once the mage is dead, portal is our top priority. Clear the area, set up a perimeter, we set up a wall, we hold it. Illusions will be distance away, preferably on opposite sides. Fighters, warriors, combat mages, archers. Everyone will be focused on moving hordes out and clearing. For agile fighters, be directed. Something was out of that portal that can't garner their attention. Archers. Come out quickly. Come off of our mages. It's not gonna be only for our agile fighters. I'm sure that our warriors are gonna be capable of doing so as well. Archers and combat mages from range need to be set up, preferably on a perch if there is one. We can find a way to get them up high. Coverage is going to be for the mages at that point. Anything that does not make their way to the illusions, archers and mages need to be on it.
I have a side concern.
Go ahead.
In the past wars, we didn't know that there was a creator, somebody pulling those strings. But now we do. He has revealed himself. He must be at his wit's end to have revealed himself, that we keep overcoming everything he puts forward. What makes us believe that if we are winning this, if we take their mage down, that he won't come himself as well?
Not something I've considered. He's had one appearance, voiced his thoughts, reasons he was doing what he was doing, and he was gone. There, it's not something we need to lose sight of, but I guess from what I'm trying to get at is what we've got in front of us. We already have a very tall order. This individual to show themselves would definitely be what's the best word? Would be a surprise if it does happen. We still have to continue the course that we've set. There's nothing that we honestly know about this creator. Maybe
there is one thing we know.
Is that you?
But that it depends on if you view him to be a liar or not. But if he is truthful, then we don't have to worry about him showing. He doesn't like to get his hands dirty. He made that clear. He wants us to destroy ourselves.
I mean, he
Correct,
couldn't just
but
make some.
But that's the point I'm making, is the fact that he revealed himself in the first place. When he doesn't like to get dirty, he revealed himself because he doesn't know what to do after this.
I'll be honest, I don't like to ride a lot on it. We don't know.
This entire plan is ifs.
Whole thing is going off idea that there's still only one mage.
Well, no, there are more mages. There's only one that we know of here.
Yes.
The plan is not perfect. The plan is going to be perfect. It is going
Right,
to have
and
variables
brought
that
it
we
up.
can't see.
I brought it up for the sake of we need to be somewhat, somehow, some way prepared for something like that to happen. And we need to be able to discuss what we need to do in the event of that.
The curveball.
If you consider this creator showing up to pull our plans, I guess you would say. We don't honestly know physically or through trial and error or anything to be able to combat that. As far as we know, it could be a deity that we can't even deal with on a physical or magical level. Guess what I'm trying to say with that is have this plan in place because we know the Death Claw are current threat. We have to follow through with this plan that we've set, otherwise it puts their plans in motion on Sunday. If he shows up, even if it's during or after the battle, I can't honestly tell you that I have any kind of good plan that's going to prepare us for that. I'm not saying by no means that we can't try to cut off his fucking head. I'm just saying that this may not work. I don't know what to expect if this does show up.
You say he doesn't want to get his hands dirty, but if he does show up, does that mean the likelihood is that he's a bit of a talker? If that's all he's done so far.
That's all he's done so far. Not wrong, he hasn't had his hands dirty yet. Does make a good point there.
So, if he's going to be talking, it's probably better if you have a singular voice that talks back. I would recommend the dog-looking fellow in the bandages over there as a great spokesperson to deal with such entities.
My thoughts on that would be if he shows up just to talk, he is a distraction from what we came to do.
Making wish he never turned up.
Fucking hell.
Pull people away. Honestly, either one of you would probably be prime candidates to drive someone crazy. That's neither here nor there. Guess what I'm saying is we have this plan that we are enacting. If he does show up, it's... can't lose our minds. It's a situation where it is a distraction. It pulls people away from our objective and what we're doing. The entire plan falters.
The commander called him, or referred to him, like a fatherly figure. Were you cognizant during that? When he said so, when you were on the pole in front of the unnamed city camp?
Not really. Don't recall such a thing.
I must disagree. That was not my interpretation.
Well, not fatherly, but your parent. Would you kill your parents? Would you go against your parents?
That's because I gave that example. He did not bring it himself. He views them as a creator. He does not wish to kill what created him. That is all. I don't think there's any real affection beyond that.
I didn't say there was affection. There's clear loyalty, even if it is designed to be so.
Loyalty, yes.
But he has shown at least some limitation. If the account of his revealing himself in library is correct, he used the body of another, did he not?
He did.
It is possible he cannot take physical form here. Or that he is not truly as godly as he wants us to believe.
Good speculation. I think between.
One thing
Go ahead, Chris.
I just wanted to point out that this is a massive energy source, and if we disable it, take it away from him, he will be severely crippled regardless what state he is in.
We don't even know that creator is even tied to that, but it is possible, I believe. Guess what I'm hearing is the knowledge that not willing to get his hands dirty, as you say, is not going to be the one to destroy us. Sent Deathclaw here to help us destroy ourselves. At that point, I think he would be nothing more than a spectator or a distraction to us if it were to make an appearance.
And what if the commander's not the leader of the desert? The war chief during the first war didn't show up until we attacked that main portal.
There's a possibility of that as well.
And we're not sure it's just the portal. It might have multi-purposes. But one thing we got to be careful is if we identify some sort of artifact or relic that these sources are powering, it might be a good idea to capture that item as opposed to destroying it once it's disabled.
Very much speculation that we will have to deal with when that time arrives.
Yep. Well, the energy does have a pulse.
Alright. So say everything goes to plan then. Mage is dead, portal closed, what next?
Just that portal closed. Get ourselves out of there. If there were any remaining forces behind us, I'm sure that we will face them either coming into the tunnels or on our descent out of the tunnels. There, make sure we get all of our people out. Move collectively.
If the commander shows up, I recommend we try and take him down before we leave. Just because we've defeated their mage and closed that portal does not mean he will still not enact his plan on Sunday.
Well, I believe there is truth in that. I believe that if the commander shows up, that he does need to die there. As I said, the commander is our third priority. We need to keep that in mind. Mage, then the portal, then the commander. The commander makes his escape. He does enact his plan. Our numbers are going to be significantly lower than what they would have been with that main portal.
Yeah, but there's still there are other portals though, isn't there?
There's a possibility that if that portal closes and they have no more mage, they may not have portals at their disposal anymore.
But there may still be portals all the same.
I do know of one such portal, and I believe two, if I'm correct. One still resides at the main camp on the plateau, and another one that resides in the southern encampment below Clearshore.
But if we take out their leadership, if Sunday goes ahead without leadership, we should be able to stem the tide, maybe. Still ifs and buts, though.
We are to achieve what we set out to do Saturday. I think that during this war will be well within our grasp. There will still be conflict, we will still have to destroy these camps. I don't expect anyone to come out of this unscathed.
Alright. So we get ourselves out of there. Where's the rally point?
Coming out of the niche, closest rally point would be Those Embrace. Only other place that we would be able to use would be Knight Syndicate, or we could travel to Stone Guard.
Well, pick one.
I would assume that with the amount of injured and what we are going to be dealing with trying to get out of that cavern, I would say that Knight Syndicate is probably the best fallback location for those that are going to have to be medically treated. The only other places, we do have clinics across the land. I think they are much farther travel. At least going to Knight Syndicate, we can move on foot. We don't have to take any carriages. And all arrive together.
Our clinic isn't very well stocked yet anymore, either. So I'd like to know what the healer's opinion is on it.
Tell me what you need, give me a list, and I will gladly stock you guys up. I can come do it tonight.
I mean, fuck if I know. I'm not a healer. I was told to get some things together. I have a chest full of things that Belisona looked over and she thought looked pretty good, but at the same time, all the beds have been removed at some point. It's been blown up a couple times. You know.
Leilani, just everything.
Okay, I'll stop by after the meeting and bring you guys some stuff.
Well.
Sounds like we've got a plan.
I do have one more question. If someone is taken, what is our protocol?
Talking about being taken during the conflicts.
At any point, really.
We have an objective. If someone is taken, there's not going to be much that we can do about it. This plan cannot falter or fall apart. It's going to be on everyone. Make sure that you are sticking to your directives, staying with people. Lone wolves, no heroes. If they want to take someone, they're going to have to come in amongst all of us. Take them.
Right, and after we get to the rally point, what is the protocol?
After we get to the rally point, and people are being tended to, those that are still fit to do so, can search for them. With what we're going after, it is truly the portal and the mage down there. I don't really know that they're going to be focused on trying to take people away and put them in a prison.
Either way, if someone got taken and we failed, they're dead anyway.
Meetings.
Somebody gets taken, part of the mages, or as a specific role, we will have to fill those voids and gaps.
Yep. We have to
We're all
adapt,
gonna have to.
improvise.
We're all gonna have to be smart about what we're doing. Make sure, like I said, stay together. Don't run away. If you have a stalker on your ass, scavengers coming after you. Use the people around you to help. Stronger together. Plan has been laid out. Sure that tomorrow I'll be speaking with a lot of you more individual level to make sure that all of the critical parts of the plans are taken care of and in order. For mages, make sure that you are well rested. Sparingly on your magics. Whatever you need to do to boost yourselves, I would do so. Make sure that you have clear focus on what needs to be done.
Oh boy.
Fighters, warriors,
Jesus
armor,
Christ.
weapons, arrows. Make sure they're in top working order. Communication is going to be a bigger part of this plan than any of us can even realize. Laid out this plan, and there may very well be nothing that goes according to what we've said here. Have to be smart. You see something, point it out. If you find an advantage, a weakness, point it out. Find a way to exploit it and use it to our advantage. Or in June, make sure you're stocked up on your illusions and other magics. Smart about placement, about the overall battle. You have done very well with them this far. I would expect nothing less. Truce. Ranged agents. Communicate. There are times when you're on a perch, others around you. If something comes out of those portals that we can't get rid of, make sure that you are all over it and do it together. On Vanellope. A lot of that is going to hinge on your calls as far as the initial empowerment and the time to move into the portal. You need to know when you're ready so that we can make that call to move. When those calls are being made, none of us can hesitate. The odds are going to be overwhelming. We are going to have to push forward. More agile fighters, both Mocha King, those that are able to pass information effectively. Make sure we're checking on the priority. The mages in your mind during times that they're closing the portals. keep an eye on them. Unless you were on the mage, so that the focus is making sure that they are secured. Once they are secured, kill what's around you. As we move into the tunnels, we start to get a better understanding of what we're actually going against. We'll come to you, we'll find a way to speak with you, tell you where you need to be. Warren and June will be doing our illusions. Their voices are going to be paramount. But they're setting things up near that portal. Their calls need to be made whenever Deathclaw are pouring out of the portals.
Holy
We
fuck.
have stalkers, we have ravagers. As I said, don't lose your mind and run away from your help. Use the people around you. Got one more chance to show them they're not going to beat us. Just keep that in mind.
Let's get it done.
One quick point, please.
Go ahead.
I want to encourage our mages to make sure they, if possible, put some of their energy into something that they can absorb it from later. That way, if they run out of energy, they can draw from that source. For me, I've been putting extra energy into crystals every day, so I can draw on it later if needed. I just think it's important to have backup, just in case.
Indeed. Anybody have anything further to add?
Nope. Been 2 hours. Let's go.
What time on Saturday?
Timing on Saturday is going to depend very much on the cover of darkness that we wanted for our starting assault. I personally to try to use that to set up the trebuchets. I'm not necessarily so much worried about magics much as it is our initial setup and getting ready to fire. I am going to say that Saturday, at least in my mind, possibly 5 of the Eastern Stars is when we need to gathering to be ready for this assault. It could be another hour or 2 before the initial attack, but we need to have as much preparation in place ahead of time. I would say that since we will be playing at Night Syndicates, we could also move from there, unless someone else has a better idea.
So we meet there instead of here?
It's the start point and the rally point, so yeah. You know,
You know
I
that
have
the
nightmares, so I have to go, but I will be there.
very well, Xander. Say that tomorrow, sure that we use that time wisely. Those of you that have these roles that you are going to be filling, make sure you're speaking with others, have plans in place to know movement, understand calls. I said I want to speak with the mages tomorrow or in June. We'll also be putting together very loose groupings for our warriors and fighters. What I mean by loose groupings is that just because with that group it may change drastically during different phases. As I said, once we enter those tunnels, they're very much going to be a collective. For the initial assault, it may be beneficial for us to have two similar sized groupings, as you would say. Once we arrive, set up our trebuchets, then we can split up into our heavier fighters that are going to be going to the wall, those that are going to be filing it. Something else to keep in mind is we don't know what to expect behind those walls. Expect traps, expect explosives, prepare for everything. Right now with the trebuchets, I'm planning on 2 salvos. Hopefully we can get a third off, but 2 salvos is what we're going to shoot for. Get some rest and make sure you prepare yourselves. Everyone is dismissed. You can go as you wish.
God, that sounded horrible. Boy, that meeting took a little bit.
They always do.
I think I caught myself a couple times dozing off.
As often happens.
Good seeing you, Imani.
Indeed, always good to see you too, Mr. Tavel.
Remind me to bring more alcohol next time.
Perhaps some coffee. Elani! Hello.
How are you today?
I'm doing excellent. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
I'm glad to hear that. I've somewhat of established a home, so I was hoping to catch you, so I can show you where it's at. It's actually not too far from where you are at.
Sure. Why don't we start walking this way?
Oh yes.
Is that all of Moja Dojo?
I think we're missing Mia and.
They went ahead.
Oh, they did. Okay.
I think I saw Mia. Is she the little fairy one?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw her
Yes.
running out.
And half hound dog, I believe she meant.
The hound dog, yes, I did see
Hellhound.
him too.
No, they wanted to
Hellhound.
speak to you,
That.
Sure.
I think next time I'm going to bring myself a container of just coffee.
Wise idea.
My attention span was lacking.
Be sure to share the Warren since he took a nap. Sorry, what was that, Jane?
I was just saying I'm thirsty, so I'm gonna drop the old man off and make some tea or something.
Okay.
I think when I get home, I'm going to write a letter to my parents.
That reminds me. I want to get a portrait done. Are you all free tomorrow?
Yes.
Should be.
Kendi, have you been contributing to the soul energy?
I haven't been, no.
Very well.
I have 2 crystals of arcane so far. I'm gonna work on a 3rd one tonight.
Who is the one who will be focusing on soul, so that I know who to hand my orbs to?
Krill.
Very well. Hello, Stella.
Greeting.
How are you faring?
This one is well. How are you?
Physically, a bit exhausted. And very
Carrying
thirsty.
the elderly can do that.
Indeed. I think Warren needs to cut down on sweets, too.
You just said to make cookies.
You can have one.
In times of great stress, sometimes eating some sweets can take off a bit of that weight off your shoulders.
Yes, the weight goes into the hips instead.
Ooh, that sounded rough.
Do we know if the box that was destroyed in the clinic, it contained all their arrows and stuff too, yeah?
I don't remember.
We believe so.
Okay. Kendi, if you have a moment, maybe we can make some present arrows up to donate to them.
Of course.
I'll make some Moonfire.
Not a problem.
With the battle
Thank
coming
you.
up, is there a possible chance to acquire some potions that I might be able to consume quickly while fighting? I don't think I can eat any stew while I'm in middle combat.
Yes, I'll show you to my clinic, and there's plenty of supplies. You're welcome to help yourself.
Excellent, much appreciated. I was just thinking about how I'm going to recover my wounds while fighting. Can't really just stop and start gobbling down a bowl of stew.
No, you'd be surprised how many people have mastered that skill. I am not one of them.
Ah. It's just one of the natives is having a bit of a moment. They're not very intelligent. Oh, watch your step. Shall we keep walking, or do we want to pick up the pace a little bit?
We can.
I was having a nice stroll, but
A little bit of a light jog shouldn't be too bad. Get those legs moving after sitting or standing for so long.
Your hands are full, so I thought I'd just help you out.
We do not have a key to this. We found that out when we were.
That's good.
Thankfully, I still have a key, so I'm able to make sure it always stays locked.
Yeah. I'll take you to the clinic while I grab some.
Oh yes. Please do lead the way.
Of course. Oh.
We'll sprint down, huh?
Really?
This way?
No, sorry, I was saying hi to Oregon.
Where did things go?
Oh.
Long-winded, but well.
I never know with this place. You know, I'm always finding secret doors and rooms.
If you just want to take a row of, it should give you 500 bandages, 200 of the green potions, and then some cleansing brew. That should be good for you.
Ah, thank you
And then
very
take
much.
those blue potions.
The blue potions? Is that the cleansing brew? Oh, these ones you just put in.
If you, yeah. Alright, that you should be good with those. That should be more than enough for you.
Oh yes, especially with the stew. Stew I can take care of when I'm not in the middle of combat, but that I will definitely make myself. Thank you.
Wield such magics.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna check my mail
If it
now.
wasn't in the middle of the,
I'll head over to everybody else.
the room, then I might have said something, but It was literally as I was walking out the door that they began to speak about it.
Not surprising.
Not at all. I have a few things I need to do, but
So what's on the agenda for the rest of the day?
I've got to make up some supplies to donate.
All right. I wasn't expecting to go into a meeting. I didn't even know that what that building was until I just followed in somebody.
I'm gonna get some. Where did Kendi?
No. Seems positively stoned.
Look, you laughed at your own joke.
I did.
Don't mind me, just stretching.
Cinder, Stonefriend should probably go work on some stuff now that they think about it.
Stone,
Yes.
don't forget to return so we can have a relaxing.
Very well. Do you know about when you want to do that?
Probably when Warren.
About how many arrows should I be making, Lilani?
Probably have an hour or two.
Okay, perfect.
All of them.
I
It'll
don't know if I
give
can manage
Cinder
all of them.
in this one time to play around with some
Huh?
trebuchets.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm kidding.
Do we have one of those
How many do you
trebuchets?
normally carry?
We can make one. It should not be a problem.
I don't
We do
think you
not
would
believe
know.
we.
Now that you said that, I think I do want to know.
Okay. Why don't you give a guess?
You
And
stay
I'll tell you if you're close.
No.
Thank you.
Is it 5 or 6 digits?
5 digits. For some.
Hmm.
6 digits would be a bit much, don't you think, Lucius?
You don't think 5 digits is a bit much? It's a bit up there. It's a bit up there.
I think I can handle 5
You're
digits.
training.
6 is a bit much.
Maybe we can open the door and go in.
Maybe.
Thank you for letting me.
Hmm. Well,
Trifle.
Come on, lad.
if you're carrying
Indeed.
that many arrows,
Good luck.
perhaps you should make. This is to account for others who may forget their arrows.
Yeah. This
Perhaps.
is to. Lilani wants to bring them
99%
to.
sure they gave us the
Knights
key to
Syndicate.
Knights Syndicate.
Leave room for two.
No.
Just leaving room for you taking up all this space.
What?
I said leaving room. Never mind. I can't say it.
Okay. Do you know how to make a green glowing gem that looks red?
Um, I don't know. Did you say a green glowing gem that looks red?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll see if I can figure it.
That was quite a bonk on the head, sorry. Where did Candy go?
She was, on a mission. He left crowd.
I guess we're gonna have to let this little fellow go on his own adventure, find his
Something close to that.
Why was she, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
I said,
Be
leave her.
free.
Then she tried to say something and couldn't. So she left.
Oh, we were so close.
We were like
I might use the bench while she's dealing with that bed.
I will be in our room for a little. Reviewing some things.
Very well, darling.
And I let the stones know to get ready for the little excursion. I
Yes,
used
what are
the
we
symbol
That mouse has got some power to it. Just pushed me out of the way.
talking about the beach thing?
Yeah,
When are we doing that?
in about an hour.
Come here.
Depends on when Warren comes to.
Real quick. Weird. Just take a short.
You know what? I'm
Alright.
not even. Oh,
Just more
there's
so
two.
concerned with the details of everything that occurred. Or I guess for a better choice of words, I'm just curious if they listened.
What was that, Candy?
I don't want to alarm anyone, but there are a few rats outside.
A few what?
No what?
I'm just gonna ignore what you said and pretend it's not happening.
Right,
Or
that's
I'm
just,
just gonna go to sleep.
that's just rats everywhere.
Shh. We're not talking about it.
Fine, I won't talk about it.
To answer your question, Kenny, did you make about 20,000?
Absolutely.
Alright, cool. That was the meeting. I'm gonna go ahead and head out now. Y'all have a good time. That's gonna be the end of the stream. Bye.